Hi everyone, in this piece I'd like to take a little bit of time to discuss why our body is mutating every moment of every day, and we are alive, and how our body defends against these mutations. Learn Your Body, a science-based education. As you may be aware, mutations are changes to our DNA, our genetics, that lead to changes in the expression of those genes, meaning changes in our genes lead to alterations in what proteins are created based on the gene sequence. Mutations can occur to single nucleotides, pieces of our genes, or to large sections of our genes. Both can be detrimental. So, to protect you from dying in a blink of an eye due to mutagenesis plaguing every one of your cells employ a small army of different systems to fix these mutations. Mutations occur during DNA replication when cells undergo mitosis or cell division to create new cells. But even during this process, the protein complex responsible for copying your genes to create a new set of genes known as DNA polymerase has a built-in proofreading system that allows it to double-check the work of the polymerase is accurate. However, even with a proofreading system, single nucleotides, again pieces of the gene, can escape detection and can remain incorrectly placed. So the cell uses some other systems to correct these issues, like those described next. Ultraviolet light, like that from the sun, can introduce oxygen radicals that attack DNA or outright break DNA strands from their helical nature. X-rays are another source of mutations for similar reasons, including cross-linking of nucleotides that should not be linked together. Other mutagens cause mutations that can involve improper epigenetic modifications, or even insertions of DNA that are not supposed to be there, or even deletions of sections of DNA, among other types of mutations. Ultimately, if the cell senses by some of the machinery I will describe shortly that there are too many mutations, it will select to self-destruct. However, assuming the mutations are not rampant, the cell creates multiple repair proteins, one of which is involved in a process called mismatch repair, by which the complex mute binds to nucleotides that are incorrectly placed in the gene and promotes the cutting of a piece of the gene on either side of the mismatched nucleotide. This is then removed and replaced by other complex proteins like nucleases and polymerases. If the mutation is only a single base within a nucleotide, an enzyme called the DNA glycosylase will flip the base out of its gene sequence and cut it out, leaving only the nucleotide backbone behind to be filled in by a nuclease and polymerase again. Similar processing can occur if an entire nucleotide, not just the base, is somehow faulty. For example, if it creates bonds or attaches incorrectly, like those seen in cross-linking. This process is fixed by nucleotide excision repair, which involves the cutting of a section of the gene by a nuclease, removing it by a helicase, and then allowing the polymerase to come in and resynthesize the nucleotides. These are several, but not all, of the ways that your cells maintain themselves and protect from sometimes unavoidable mutations. As a matter of fact, they are extremely good at what they do. So much so that, for example, when the cells are dividing and copies of the genome, the DNA within the cells, needs to be created to give to the new cell, there are as few as one undetected mutation in 10 billion nucleotides copied from the old genome, with the polymerase's ability to self-check and the backup systems in place to correct what does get missed. So while your cells are unbelievable at maintaining consistency in your genome, your DNA, they will miss the occasional mutation, especially if they are introduced by the environment from things like smoking, being around heavy radiation, and other factors. So you can help your body's cells by simply taking all the necessary precautions in any situation that may present potential mutagens. So with that said, I hope this proved informative, and I look forward to speaking with you in the next one. Cheers.